to our action planning session. In this session, we'll be doing a demo on how we can do an action plan. So what we have done, we have made a presentation in which you are going to see what we are presenting, but you will also interact with the presentation. The idea is to walk you through on the action planning process so that you can be able to develop your action plan. And this action plan is built on what we call the replicables. During all the sessions, as the session was ending, you are requested to identify adoptables and adaptables. So we now want you to revisit them so that we can formulate a strategic plan which will help us when we start implementation, that will be implementing in a guided approach, which is informed by what we have. So on this session, we would like to discuss with all of you and see how we can develop.
You're muted.
Dr. Maina, we have lost you. Dr. Maina? Oh, yes, muted.
Enos, can you make everybody attendee? Some people are muting me.
Yeah, I'm doing that right away.
So we are here to discuss about how we can put our plan into action. So the learning outcome for this session is first, the importance of prioritizing actions. That is what we are looking to. The other one is to identify actions that meet our identify needs, because we have needs and we want to map the needs with the actions we are taking away. And then we also want to have a clever way of planning so that we can be effective and have a long-lasting change. So we expect you to participate and to be active. For those who are joining now, go to the chat. Abdi, you can place the chat down so that they see it. If you are joining now, click on the chat and follow the presentation from the chat. Listen from here, but the presentation will be from the chat. So we are going to plan our action plan. And before we plan, we start with our name. Can you enter your name and the name of your school? Type in your name and the name of your school.
You can type directly.
You can type directly in the chat, not in the chat, in the presentation. On the PowerPoint, you just type directly there. First name and school, please. Jane Jogu, we don't know your school. They have to be together. Jane Jogu Karabai Primary School, like that.
Chore Samuel, we are not filling in on the chat that is on this discussion. We are filling it directly on the presentation that you can see on your screen. So you'll type your name and the name of your school in brackets. Same with the Lucy Maina of Kiamba.
So we have Lilian Wamboi, Jamuku CSO Kihara Zone, Frida Murungi Timbugua Primary, Gina Gitu Athena Primary, Lilian Wamboi, Jamuku CSO Kihara Zone, Regina Gitu.
Excuse me.
Yes, please. Yes?
I delayed in coming back. I wanted to ask, where are we getting this form that we are filling?
Yeah,
where is it?
That is the price of coming late. You go to the chat, there is a link which you click and it will bring you to this presentation. Abdi, can you share the chat so that they see the latest?
I have shared it again, and I'm sharing it again.
Yeah, keep on sharing, because if somebody comes, let them see it.
Yeah, when they come, yeah, they can't see it.
We have Lucy, Mwaura, Mwihoko, and you can see your colleagues. Abraham Gishua, Carrera Kamba. We have Karugo. We don't know if it's a name or a school. Florence Gitahi, Thogoto Primary. Thank you. Lois Mudhoni, Wangware Primary. Thank you.
Henry Munganjau, Katara Primary. Polo Sumba, Logoto TTC. Wiltake Munto Motari, Kiawanda Primary. Jen Njogu, you have not told us the school. Lilian Wambui Njamuki, CSO Kihara. Regina Gitu, Adena Primary. Frida Murungi, Vimbigwa Primary.
Dr. Abdi,
Yes.
please explain to them, because I can still see some people typing on the chat, like Grace Wamboi, Felix. Just advise them what to do.
Okay, to Grace Wamboi and
so Grace Wamboi and the rest, we are not typing in the chat. We are clicking the link which is shared in the chat, and the link will open this file on your device. So you'll use this file to enter your information while you will listen to us from this, whatever you are listening. If you can hear us, you're already here. So click and use that particular, whatever comes up when you click, and use it to enter the information required. So we are going to proceed so that this was now to know who is there and what they are going to do. I'll give them 2 more minutes so that we have those who have come late.
we are repeating again for those who are joining us. There is a link I am sharing right now. Look at that link. That is where we are filling in our names and the names of our schools. So you click on this link that I am sharing now. Click on this link that I am sharing now. Click on that link, and then you will fill in the name of your school and your name on that particular slide, not on this side chart.
So we have 1 more minute. We have some people have just come now. We are 61 now. We have floodgates. Abdi, can you repeat the instruction again and you put the chat again there? The link.
So for those who are joining us now, we are putting a link on this chart that you shall click. Click on that link. It will open for you a presentation that Dr. will be leading us through. It is on that presentation that you shall write your name and the name of the institution you are in. I have shared the chat again. I have shared the link again, sorry. And there is the link. So click on the link. And when you're writing, please have your name, the last name, first name, and then in bracket the name of your school.
And that link has also been shared in WhatsApp. So if you can't see the chat here, it is there in WhatsApp. Abdi, can you also share it in WhatsApp?
Doing that.
Okay. So we are going to proceed. We have given you 5 minutes. So we are going to present. Now we know who is here. We know your school. The key important thing is you have identified things you want to apply. So I'll ask you to click in which general learning outcome would you like to focus on. We can't do everything. we only have some few weeks which we'll be implementing. So if schools open in September, we are saying between September and April, what will you be able to do which you have drawn from this particular course? So select as many as you can, but remember, be pragmatic because you can't do everything. So look at what you'll focus on. So if you can focus on 2 or 3, it is more advisable than trying to chew everything. Select the ones which you are going to focus on for your implementation. Which general learning outcomes will you be focusing on from what you are getting from this particular session?
So a word of caution, try to look at things that will be related mainly to literacy and numeracy, so that you don't pick an area that does not have much on literacy and numeracy, and you find yourself having a problem later on. So as you're working around it, look at areas of literacy and numeracy. Whatever it is that you are working on, make sure that later on it still works very well with literacy and numeracy.
And don't worry much because after this session, you have up to tomorrow 8 o'clock in the morning to adjust. So we want you to get a feel, but try to be realistic, and then you can go reflect, review, and make it, refine it. But it's important that it's something which will happen in class. So this is the general outcome we are trying to cover. So we are going to move on, and you can see our spread, which is good. The next thing is we'll be focusing on literacy and numeracy. What is it that you like to focus in literacy? We know you'll be teaching all of them, but we want for this project for 8 weeks, September to March, you focus on something so that you deepen. So select something which you like to implement for your project.
One of the things that will assist you in doing this are the replicables that you had noted down. If you remember from the chat, Daktari had said if you can have them here during this session, they'll really assist you in planning. Try to be as realistic as you can and pick an area that you know will work with you very well.
So our focus will be on literacy and numeracy. So we can see the spread in literacy. So we are also going to look at numeracy learning outcomes. So select the ones you're going to use in your class.
Right.
So we are taking you through a journey of how you build your action plan. And remember, whatever we are doing, we are not doing in addition to. We are just enriching what we do in the classroom, the teaching of literacy and numeracy as the foundational blocks. And therefore, we want to enhance our learners' learning experiences. And that's why we are bringing on all these. But this is not something extra. You will not stop teaching and then say, today I'm teaching assessing evidence. It will be part and parcel. It will be embedded in your lessons as you deliver. So it's not in addition to, but it is part of what you'll be doing. So now we have identified what we will focus on in numeracy and what will focus in literacy. We have set our compass. We are now ready to take the journey because we know what we want to achieve. So the next important thing is brainstorming. I know in your list you have so many things you like to do, but we have a limitation. We are talking of September, October, and some weeks in November, and then January and February. We're talking about less than 12 to 16 weeks. So we like you to look at what you have written and think about these ideas, approaches, and strategies. Which one am I going to use? There are so many on your table there, and you have them because now, since you have them, you have already brainstormed because you have them. But the next thing we like you to think is evaluate. Take your pen and underline where you think I have a control of this one, I have influence of this one, I think I don't need resources here. We are trying to sift and to see which ones are easy to do. I don't have to go and seek permission from my CSO. I don't have to go and seek permission from the head teacher. I have control. And which one do I have influence over that I can adjust my lesson and allow my children to do 1, 2, 3? And which one will I need low cost, no cost? Take your pen and underline them because those are the ones we want you to start with, where you won't need to go ask for permission, where you know that you have influence, and where you know you don't need resources, or if you need resources, they are low cost. You can recycle maize cob, you can paint stones and use them. So underline them, underline those things that you think this one, I'm going to begin with them. And you can see as you are doing that, the number of things you had chosen are reducing because we want you to stay focused. Maybe you started with 30, you could be ending with 5 or 3 by now as we are moving on, because you'll eventually do the others. But for a start, you start with what is possible and easy to do, then you will do the others. So we are not saying we're ignoring all the others which you identify. No, but we are doing this to see what can we start with, and then the others will follow. Have you underlined them? Abdi, can you check in the chat if they have said about underlining? If you have underlined, say yes.
So you can respond on the chat. I will check.
Somebody is saying in WhatsApp that the link is not opening.
Let me send the link again.
So I know you have underlined some. Do not worry. This is just a mock presentation. It will help you to go and do it later on your own. So we are going to move on because I'm sure you have underlined at least 3 or 5. So the next thing which we want you to do is to prioritize. Looking at the ones which you have underlined, which one has the highest impact? Which you think, if I do this, it is going to bring my goal. I'm going to achieve what I like to do. Which one do you think will cost you very little, or there will be no cost at all? Which one do you think you won't need as much effort to do because it will be just part of what I do in class? So I want you to consider those 3 aspects, not independently, but interdependently, and try to underline either 2 or 3, which you think these ones I think I can start with. And we are telling you, do not worry, you will do all the others. But for now, we want you to focus on something to keep you going so that as you start a new approach, you are trying to accept change, you are trying to engage with new ways of teaching. And then once you get that trial and you see how it works in your school, it will be easy to bring others on board.
Remember, we are looking at something that is impactful and less costly. Don't just look at what is less costly but has very little impact. Don't look at something that does not cost you effort but has no impact. That is why Dr. is mentioning the issue of interdependability, that all these things are interrelated. Make sure that you're looking at the cost, the effort, and the impact. This goes same hand in hand with what was mentioned in the previous slide, where we mentioned that you need to look at what you can control. So some of the excuses that we are now trying to remove from us is, I did not get the support of the head teacher to do this. My colleagues did not support me in doing this. The head of the department was not participating. The parents did not contribute to what we wanted them to do. So if you know that those will be some of the reasons why you will fail, remove those things that will need all those people. Look at what you can control, where you have the influence, where the resources are minimal, where you have very good impact, and the cost is very little or none at all, and the effort, it is more of effortlessly done.
If you have selected 2 or 3, say yes in the chat, please.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay. My phone can only display the prioritization content. I can't get what we are selecting.
You are selecting from your own list, the list you have on your paper.
Okay.
Whatever you are selecting is the things you say I'm going to do.
Okay.
In your notebook, you must have written, I'm going to do assessing evidence, I'm going to do questioning, I'm going to use a story. Those are the things we are referring to. We are not prescribing, we are giving you power to select what you have in your lists. So I'm waiting to see, yes, if I see 10 yeses, then we are going to proceed. If you have selected something which fits the attributes described by Mr. Abdi, then write yes in the chat. Remember, what we are doing is a mock presentation of how you design an action plan. So do not worry if you say, no, I want to change. You can still change, but we want you to get a feel of how it's done so that when you are changing, you know what to change, because tomorrow, everybody will be given airtimes, 5 minutes, to tell us what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. So Wilter has said yes, so I have 1 yes. I'm waiting another 10 yeses. Thank you, Wilter.
If you are unable to chat because of moving between the slides, you can unmute yourself and just say yes, and then mute yourself. Thank you. We have a second yes.
Thank you.
Regina, yes.
Regina has said yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those are 4.
Regina, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regina. Captured.
Regina, yes.
Captured, Regina.
Yes.
Thank you. 5.
Lydia, yes. Another
1, yes.
Bosco, yes.
Thank you.
Great. We are now at 10 because Bosco and we have 2 others.
Thank you very much. So you can see that we are not saying that all your ideas are not valid. We appreciate all your ideas. But for the purpose of starting something, you need to select and prioritize because you're starting something new in your practice. So you take something which fits all the attributes which you have shared. And that now gives an impetus for us to move forward. So these are some of the things, whatever you have selected, you want to apply it in foundational skills. Can you select which area you like to do? It can be 1, 2, or 3. Remember, you have only 16 weeks. Which area would you like to focus what you have selected?
Are they restricted to one?
No, you can select as many as possible, but you only have—
be realistic, so that—
Yeah, you only have 12 weeks. For me, I'll advise 2. 2 can be the best. So we can see we are setting our compass so that we are focused in what we are going to try. And here we have selected something from the foundational skills, which we'll be applying, because we are applying all the abilities, the assessing evidence, considering multiple perspectives, deep structures, and solving and routine problems. But they are all in this, and I can see how we are focused on how we want to do it. So the next thing which I like to request you, okay, one more minute. One more minute. Enos, control volume. So the next thing which I like you to do is under eliciting evidence, what would you like to do? Because we now want to apply whatever you have selected, we want to apply in all the CTPS. So write down under eliciting evidence, what would you like to do? I know we learned so many things under eliciting evidence, but there's something in your list. If you turn to your page in the notebook, there's something you wrote. Huh? We're not writing our emails. We're saying, what would you like to do? Mudhoni, Martha. You're saying what you would like to do under eliciting evidence. So we have somebody saying, ensure my learners answer question by providing a reason for the answer. Thank you very much. We're waiting for more. What would you like to do under eliciting evidence?
Regina.
Yes, Regina. Somebody is saying, ensure that I involve all.
Consolata, please mute yourself, and Caroline.
So we are writing, just click on the presentation that is there, and then you will be able to fill in the space for you there. Type in your answer there. We like some of the answers that we are seeing here. And this does not mean that if you see something that you wanted to say having been written here, you will not say it. Just put it in your own words and then say it. Like the one that says, get the facts about content you are teaching, support what I say with information, ensure my learners answers question by giving a reason, ensure that I involve all learners, I do assessments, get the facts about the content you are teaching by taking practical approach, support what I say with an information, e.g. can give a story, give learners effective feedback, learners to give effective feedback, ensure that my learners participate in activities that require assessment of evidence. So you can keep on adding them.
So
There
you can
is one
see
was
this
written
is
on the chat, ask probing
yes.
questions. Jen Gitahu, we are filling in on the live presentation.
Maybe Abby, you need to post the link
Share your
again.
ideas on the live presentation. I
Post
have shared the
again.
link.
Okay. So this is what people want to do under eliciting evidence. So we are going to go to all 4 because we did 4. This is just one of them. And you can read what your colleagues are doing. So we are doing a double input and presentation because you can read what your colleagues are doing and you can learn from them, meaning that after this session, you can even go and improve the session based on what you have learned from your colleague. So the next one I'd like you to write is, what are you going to input for deep structures, which you have just finished today? What will you do under deep structures? What will you do under deep structures?
Dr. Gioko, I'd like to mute everyone. Please unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, Dr. Ari.
Thank you. Thank you. So you can see somebody saying, I will change from traditional method of asking surface questions only. Thank you. Give content that will stimulate thinking. Thank you. Ask questions that will provoke learners thinking. Thank you. Subject people to questions that require deep thinking. Thank you. Vary questioning techniques. Thank you. Intentionally plan for learners to explore deeper. Thank you. Esther, you can read some.
Jen says give learner to put up with evidence. Bosco is saying engage learners in critical thinking.
Where are they saying this, Nation?
On the chat.
That is the wrong place. They're supposed to be saying on the PowerPoint.
On the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Regina,
Yes.
Regina, make sure that the people read a passage and answer questions for understanding.
Have you written it in the WhatsApp? Have you entered it in the chat, in the PowerPoint?
I cannot see it anywhere. My phone is not screening it.
Okay, then please write them down because you'll need them. Write them down because you'll need them. Yeah. As we move, if you're not able to interact here, write them down because now you are building your action plan process. So the next one I'd like to ask you is, what are you going to do under solving non-routine problem? Write down what you're going to do under solving non-routine problem. So all the results you are sharing here, you will still get them. So we are going to collect everything people have said here and we'll send to, they'll be in class. You'll go and download and see what you said, but you can also read what other people have said and you can learn from them. The idea is to make you comfortable, develop your confidence, and allow you to go and try out without fear. So I can see there is prioritize, people are able to solve more problems, provide effective feedback. In each area of learning, I will insert non-routine problems, ensure learners are able to think critically. I will involve the learners in critical thinking activity. I will prioritize. Thank you so much. Being dynamic and try to get facts about the answer. I'll use learning aid and questioning technique to probe the learner's thinking. I'll vary teaching methods and involve learners to relate in real life. Excellent. So we'll go to the last one. And the last one is using multiple perspectives. What would you like to do? So our shopping basket is now full because we have identified the foundational skills. We have identified what we'll do in all the 4 abilities. And we are guided by the general learning outcome. And we are also guided by the subject-specific learning outcome in literacy and numeracy. So we are now sure of where we are going. We are confident on the direction. So somebody has said evaluate. I will use Victional diagram. I think it's pictorial diagram. I'm not sure what it means. What are you going to do under multiple perspective? And please read what your colleagues are writing. I'll ask open-ended questions. Thank you very much. I will vary teaching approaches. Allow learners to express themselves by listening more than talking. Engage learners more so as to practice what they have learned. I will evaluate. Thank you. I will apply PIPs. Thank you. I will assess the evidence. I'll use a variety of teaching methods. I'll make sure learners participate in all activity. I will give questions that allow for multiple answers. I will change traditional method. I will let them think in various dimensions. Great. So now we are equipped. We have all the ingredients. And now we want to make that big meal of implementation. So the next thing that we need to ask ourselves is we need to establish a goal, and then we need to plan on how we are going to evaluate our teaching, because we are not just doing it for any purpose. We are doing it for learning purpose and improving the quality of education in our school. So whatever we'll be doing, it will be a teacher learning moment. We'll be doing our own professional development, because now we have the information, the ideas, the approaches, but now we want to go and apply them in our schools. Therefore, it will be a learning opportunity for us. And therefore, the thing that we need to look at is planning. People don't plan to fail. Nobody plans to fail. But the only challenge is they fail to plan. So we would not like you to fail to plan. We like you to plan. Abdi, you are saying something?
No, your voice was breaking a bit, but now it's okay.
Okay. So the reason why we have this session is to plan, to give you a demonstration, and then you have, after we finish this session till tomorrow, you'll have something which you can share in front of your peers and also listen to your colleagues, therefore develop more insights of what is possible. So I want you to pick one idea, and now we start with it. We'll take only one activity. We'll go with it till the end. So after this, you'll be able to do the other things. So one critical thing is setting a goal is relatively easy. but the challenge is creating a plan to achieve that goal. So you can say, I will, but if you do not have a plan, then you might not realize that particular goal. So that is what we are now taking you through. We have identified things. We now want to take one of them only and take it through the end. So we see how it looks like so that we can succeed when we implement it in our schools. So what is the learning outcome you would like to realize by implementing what you have taken? Just take one thing. Take one thing and we are going to go with it till the end. And then you will repeat this to all the others. So based on that thing you have selected, what is the learning outcome you like to realize when you finish? Reading is not a learning outcome. Tell us, what about reading? Just give us a sentence or a learning outcome, which is smart. Implementing digital learning, so what? So can you write it complete? Implementing digital learning so that my learners can be able to just be comprehensive, but a good try, that is good. You have given us an indicator of what you are thinking. Innovation is one word. Please give us a learning outcome. As you implement what you have taken, what is it that you like to realize? Evaluating evidence, complete it so that implementing digital learning, reading. Give us a learning outcome so that we see what you intend to realize. It has to be a learning outcome which is smart, specific, measurable, attainable, timely. Making a wholesome learner who is able to apply literacy and numeracy. Excellent. I will vary my teaching method to allow learners to think critically. Using digital devices to enable learners to explore on different ways of learning in and out of schools. Excellent. Because the learning outcome is what will guide you as you are implementing what you have chosen. So that thing which you have chosen, now you will be checking back on the learning outcome to see if it has been realized. So we'll move by the end, learners should be able to read, pronounce, and write correct sentences. Excellent. So there we are now. The next thing is why. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to achieve that learning out? What is it currently happening in the school which is imploring you to try to change? What is it that is driving you? Can you write why? Why do you want to achieve that learning outcome? There must be something you have observed in the current practices that you think, no, I want to change something. So can you give us the justification why you want to spend time to change? So somebody is saying that they want to come up with learners are not self-driven. Thank you. So I think the other one meant learners are not open-minded. Learners are not able to express themselves. So you want them to express themselves. Thank you very much. Because unless you don't know where you are, you can get anywhere. Failure to answer questions before being taught, after being taught. Excellent. Coming up with them who aren't open-minded. Learners are not able to express themselves. Failure to answer questions after being taught. Thank you. To solve real-life issues in the society. Okay. So you can see we are looking at the past to see why we want to bring this particular change. And you see, you should formulate your justification. For example, is currently the learners have a negative attitude towards technology, and I know the potential of technology. Therefore, I would like to do digital literacy so the justification is complete. Remember, we say accessing evidence, you make a claim and you give some justification. So we have to apply that here. Okay, the schools are not able to provide learning material, so I will use local available. Excellent. So now we have a justification. The next thing we want to ask ourselves is, what is the goal deriving the need for change? What is it that I want to achieve? We had a learning outcome. We have the reason why, what is happening now. Now we are asking, what is the goal deriving the need for change? Can we have some coming up? The changing world. Okay, sorry. We have the changing world. Thank you very much. Let's have more.
Reload the page again.
The need for change in this changing world. World is changing. To have an all-round person. To have learners not dependent. Yes, Regina?
To have people who think critically and can solve problems.
Okay, thank you. Make sure you write it down somewhere. We are now building your action plan. We have just taken one. And maybe you'll be able to speak about it tomorrow when you're presenting. Because you have to give all this information within 5 minutes. So now we know what we want to do and we know why we want to do it. So the thing which I want to ask you, from the list which you developed for considering multiple perspective, assessing evidence, solving non-routine problem, deep structure, we want you to take one. I know you selected 4, one from each. Now write one, which we are going to use for this demo, because now we want to drill deep, break it down, and show you how you will do it in your school. So just list one of them. It can be from any, from considering multiple perspective, from assessing evidence. So here you are not thinking, you're just speaking from what you wrote, identifying one. Thank you very much. We have solving non-routine. We are now developing and these are broad statements. I wish you could go granular, go a bit deeper and give some statement. Okay. So we are going to take one and we are going to go with it all through the ends. Can you state it in the learning area? For example, solve non-routine problems in numeracy, like something like that. Can you fix it in the learning area you selected? Because now it's a concept, it has no context and content. Add some content.
When we are saying, for instance, when you say solving non-routine problems, you have to be very specific. You realize we were dealing with non-routine problems or deeper structures in literacy, in numeracy. We had it in specific tasks. So can you come up with a broader statement? I can see one here, ensuring my learners are able to express themselves confidently. That is almost something close to what we are expecting, because now they'll say in which particular area in literacy. If we are talking of multiple perspectives, look at your design. What does the design expect of students, of the learners in that particular level? So that whatever statement you are making a statement that you know you will be able now to work on for that particular time. And remember, we are going to work for the next 14 weeks. So if you just say a single statement or you just put it to a particular unit, strand, then we might not do much.
Thank you, Abdi. So far, I've seen one which is closer to what we want. I want more. If I get 5, communicate appropriately using verbal and verbal model. Yes, that's a bit better.
I like this, communicate appropriately using verbal and non-verbal models. Eliciting evidence, we need more information on that. Assessing evidence, we need more information. Solving non-routine problems, let us go deeper to it. Let us make it into a statement.
We are looking for statements, not titles. So we have seen 3. If we get 2 more, then we'll proceed. Remember, this is a demo. So you can watch this video, it will be in the classroom, and then you can develop your own. So do not worry.
So we have some here, bring up deeper surface in numeracy, especially in numbers.
Excellent.
Deep structure in literacy by reading storybooks.
So we need 2 more. So I think we are getting a sense of what is required. Yeah. Now it's getting better. And that's the reason why we wanted an interactive session, so that we can learn from each other, and we can now change what we are writing, and it can become better. Excellent. Now things are becoming much better, Abdi. Can you see that? So we are going to proceed. Having selected that one, we are now going to the next step. Remember, when we were doing all those, we selected many, but now we are pulling only one and going through the end. What we are going to see is, for every action, you'll need to do this till the end. But the first steps we began, those are general for everything. But when you are seeing this white slide, it is for each item. So can you tell us, why do you want to replicate what you have identified? Why do you want to replicate that? Give us a reason. Just to remind everybody, this session is being recorded, and we are going to share it with you. You listen. We can also think of sharing it with you, and you enter your answers. So we'll give you a version whereby you can listen, you can check, and you can enter in the information again. So do not worry, pay attention, follow, and then you can redo it. So somebody has said to allow critical thinking among my learners. Excellent. To help people solve comprehension questions easily. Thank you. To build up communication skills and improve on them. Thank you very much. We need 2 more, and then we proceed. We have now said what we are going to do. Now we are saying why we are doing it. Remember, the other why was umbrella for everything. Now you are doing for specific activity to make teaching and learning more interesting, to ensure my learner is learner-centered, to ensure my lesson is learner-centered, to develop a more confident learner who is all-round, in order to make reading storybooks meaningful and construct meaningful sentences. Wow, this is getting better. Now you have said why. Who would you like to work with? Don't give me a name of Kamau Onjoroge. Give me a title, maybe the head teacher, the CSO, the subject panel, and why will you, what will they be doing with you? So if you say my panel head, you can say into bracket, what will they be doing to help you assist or succeed? Or if you can say, who will you like to involve with my learner, into bracket, share why. Sub-county director, into bracket, what will they be doing? Please tell us more. So for the position you identify, give us their responsibility. For example, I like to work with my co-facilitator, because he'll be able to give me feedback and he will help me in tip teaching. so that I can focus on what I'm doing. So can we have specific roles and responsibility for the people you are mentioning here?
So we have seen a few all stakeholders. What will they do and who are the stakeholders? Remember, when you have everyone, it becomes very hard to track. Sub-county directors, what will they be doing? Learners and administrators, learners will come with teaching learning aids, administrators will provide for financial support. Remember, we said we should try and ensure we look for what we can control so that we do not get controlled by the people that we depend on. We don't want this project to fail. Parents for following up. Then we have head teacher to give moral support and for consultation. Her influence is critical, very good. The head teacher for that the success can spill over to the rest of the school fraternity. School head
nice.
so that they can be close. English panel member to brainstorm on how we can help each other in assessing pupils. Head teacher because he will provide materials required. So the issue of material, ensure that that does not become the essence why you are using them. Because we said we should try to reduce to have more influence in whatever it is that we are doing.
I hope this is getting better.
It is improving.
Yes, so it is a learning journey, and that's why we say let's do a mock-up so that we can be able to see from our colleagues and it can get better and better and better. So we are doing well, and so we have now known what we want to do, why we want to do, whom are we going to involve. The next thing we'll ask you is the next one to ask you is how will you do it? Can you describe what you have said? How will you do it? Give us a sentence or a describe in a nutshell. How will you do it? You have told us what you will do. You have told us why you will do it. You have told us who you will work with. Now we are asking you, how will you do it? So describe to us how you will do it. Through a subject tunnel, you have not told us how you will do it. Give us a concrete.
So how will you like to implement?
Okay, I can see it's getting better.
So we have, I can see one here, subject panel.
Give you an example of how you'll do it. Select one and give an example.
Sessions in literacy classes. I can see one here. The one that was saying reading more comprehension and storybooks. So that one might be done during all the reading lessons.
Okay.
These ones are still not very strong. When you say you'll do practice, when, how, during what specific times, because we are now developing an action plan, and when we are developing an action plan, we have to be very specific. Provide numerous reading materials and asking questions from the materials read. Reading more comprehension, group learners in clusters in order to manage them. I like these. I will implement during all reading sessions in literacy class.
Excellent. Yeah.
We'll do it.
So
They do it. We do it. Okay.
You need to be specific such that if I take your direction, I'll go and replicate what you have said. So for example, provide different learning material in learning to enhance deep structures. That means that I can do that because you are guiding what can be done. So here you need to be specific. So we are almost coming to the end of this plan. So once you said how, I want you to think, when do you like to do this? You have September to March. Tell us specifically what you have selected. When will you do it? because we might be visiting your school. So if you say February 16th to 19th, that is specific. So if I come February 16th to 19th, I will know that this is what you are doing. So we want you to be very specific, but do not worry, it cannot be accurate, but you will adjust. During class, my friend, you have not told me anything. Be specific because you are trying something unique. Which window will you do it? Because you can't be doing it every time you are trying. Please, can we be specific? I want to see the months of the year, January, February. I want to see months of the year. I want to see dates from September to November. Okay, you are getting a bit specific. January 2021, the whole month. During October to March. For this specific activity you have selected, for this one, remember you have many other. When do you want to do it? So for this one, when do you want to do it? For example, mine, I want to do it in October 15th to 19th. When do you want to do yours? The window cannot be that wide.
Putting February, it has no year. Mid-October, there is no year. March, no year. So you can always tell us you meant March 30.
Yes.
I like this, the third week after opening for 4 weeks.
Excellent.
So that's a bit specific. Immediately you go back to school from September to November. I will begin now as I plan and prepare for the term. Be specific, be specific.
I have muted everybody, including myself. You can unmute yourself. Sorry, there was some noise there. Yes, September 21st to 26th. We want that specificity. That is the kind of specification we need. That's a good window to try something new, and because you have so many things you're going to try. This is just one of it. What we are asking you here is what you selected, only that piece for now, because you're going to do others. September 21st to 20th, you'll do one, then 22nd to 28th, another one. So they will be different. So here you have to be specific. So the second last question I want to ask you is, if you succeed, if what you are doing is successful, how will it look like? If what you are doing is going to succeed, how will it look like? So describe how the success will look like. That one doesn't look like success. Describe
so
how
the question
success.
here is, what picture do you see at the end? It's like when you are starting to build a house, you have developed a number of plans, but you have a picture at the end. My house will look like this. That is what we want to see. What does success look like for you? So I can see one, pupils will be able to communicate effectively using English language. I like that. Learners excel. You have to be specific. Excel in what or where?
It's always important to think about success, because when you'll be monitoring
another success here is that it will be adapted by the whole school.
But what will be adapted? How? Because we are focusing on the action itself, not the spread. So when you look at success, it helps you because you have 16 weeks. Week 4, you'll be able to see, oh, I'm not yet there. Week 12, oh, I'm almost there. Week 16, yes, I'm there. Because there'll be a gradual progression into your improvement. My learners will be proficient communicators in English, thank you. There will be change in behavioral attitude as there will be self, okay. People will be able to communicate effectively in English, excellent. So it's good that you describe your outcome with clarity. Because the next thing, which your action plan, now what we have done, we have been able to do an action plan, and we have what, how, why, when, with whom, with what, and success. For example, in my class, I think I want to enhance reading within a lesson, and I will train teachers on how to balance activities between the lesson to involve reading. Why? I want to develop reading habits and literacy acquisition. When in all lessons with text, any lesson with text, I'll be doing that, the library lesson and the remedial lesson. I will involve senior teachers and parents, and we are going to use readers, textbooks, diaries, vocabulary, journals, and lesson plan. And my success will be when learners are able to read fluently with accuracy. So once you have done this, you need to unpack that success, because you're supposed to be measuring your success. So I will go back and measure my success. And when measuring my success, I will use below expectation, approaching, meeting, and exceeding, because I need to measure myself as I'm working. For example, for me, consistently and correctly reading with fluency, that is my exceeding expectation. Meeting expectation will be correctly, not consistently, correctly reading with fluency. Approaching will be sometimes read with fluency, and below expectation will be rarely reads with fluency. Because that is my descriptor, my criterion was reading with fluency. And therefore I have my scores and I have performance level. So we like you to try one, just one, to try and see how it looks like. So pick one of what you have written, your success criteria, and this is what I've done mine. So for mine, ability to read, reading with fluency, my descriptor is read with fluency text in specific topic. So rarely below, sometimes this is what I'll be using. When I go to mark my learners, I'll be checking where I am, and I know when to do it, and I'll be reflecting after that. So what I like you to do is take one success indicator and break it down into 4 parts and share with us how it looks like when it is below expectation, approaching expectation, meeting expectation, and exceeding. We only need 5 for people to see how it looks like. Then we complete our session. Because if you don't have indicators of success, you won't know where you are. You can say, oh, they are reading well in English, but you need to drill down. Are they doing that really? Is it consistently? Is it with support? So look at your success criteria and write for each. Give it those levels. Somebody has written meeting expectation. We don't know what that means. What is meeting expectation? Can you give us the performance? Which performance will be meeting expectations? And we are about to finish, so do not worry. We have less than 5 to 10 minutes, and we are going to finish. So do not worry, we are ending. We are almost ending now. This is the last activity. But very, very crucial, because meet expectation because they can read text consistently, okay? So you have given us 1 level. What about the other levels? Remember, you have to give all the 4 levels, because sometimes in your class, maybe half of them are meeting expectation, but we have 2 children who are exceeding expectation, and we have 1 child who is below expectation. So you need to give all the 4 steps for each level. So working two-digit number in multiplication level meets expectation. So that is one performance. So what about below expectation? How will it read? What about above expectation? How will it read? So when you are sharing, share all the four. It is good you start with one. I like the fact that you have identified meets expectation, then graduate it to above, approaching expectation below, and exceeding expectation above. So remember, for each performance, you have to give the 4 steps, the 4 levels. Meeting expectation is what you'll expect, but there are some students who will be approaching expectation, and there are some who will be exceeding expectation. So you have to give all the 4 levels at each of the applications. Okay, somebody has saying exceeding expectation, thank you. But you need all the 4 levels. I'm looking for one who will give all the 4 levels. We are all giving 1, 1, 1, 1. I want one who will give all the 4 levels. For example, consistent multiplying one-digit number. So listening and speaking, meeting expectation 2, exceeding, approaching expectation 3. Okay, you have not written what, but it's good you have the levels. I'm expecting one who will write all the 4. So you have to do all the 4 for each success. For each class success, you have to graduate it in all the 4 levels. And I'm waiting for it to come so that I can move on. Can I have somebody who's going to give all the 4? Yes, we have counting 1, exceeding, counting 1 to 80, meeting, counting 1 to 50, approaching, counting 1 to 10 below. Thank you very much. Now they are coming. Yes, so for each, you need 4 levels. That was good. I saw one very nice one. So ensure that you graduate your success indicator to those particular level. So I'm waiting for it to come again, then I could go to the next one. I want you to all read one. There's one here which is very nice, which is graduating the levels in terms of addition. It's yet to come. Once it comes, I'll move on. I'm waiting for it to go around and come. Okay, there it is. Yes, that is what we expect, something like that. So we are going to move on. And the last thing that I'm asking you is, what question do you still have? And we are going to answer all these questions in the WhatsApp. Can you pose your questions here? And all the facilitators are here listening. And we are going to answer all your questions in WhatsApp because we are coming to an end in the next 3 minutes. If you have any burning question regarding action planning, please pose it here, because after this we'll give you time to prepare a 5-minute presentation. Tomorrow we'll be sitting in 2 schools, and each teacher will be given 5 minutes to present their action plan. And that will be part of your qualification for this course. What are you doing? Why? You have to answer all those questions. Nobody will ask you a question. You'll be given 5 minutes. It's now your turn, and you speak through and you finish, and everybody will be given that opportunity. So what questions do you have? Because this is my last slide as we look forward to tomorrow to celebrate your work. Somebody has raised hand. Magdalene, your hand is up. Can you speak? Unmute yourself and say what you want to say. Magdalene?
Everyone. Hello.
Yes.
I
You
was
can hear
unable to follow you.
Okay.
So I was asking which link can you send for me afterwards so that I can be able to. Now I'm out of place because I wasn't in my laptop. I was unable to connect. It has just connected right now.
Do not worry, you are going to get a recording of this session and you'll get another one where you'll play and fill it up. Don't worry.
Okay, thanks.
So somebody is asking, can it be long term? For now, it's only short term. We are saying September to April. But depending on when schools will open, we'll give you just a window to try it. Can we have an outline of the action plan as a document posted in WhatsApp? Yes, that one can be there. Remind the adaptable and adoptable. Adaptable and adoptable are what you selected yourself from the session. Somebody is trying to speak?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yes.
Is it only applicable in lower classes? Can you apply it in the other classes, or it is just for the lower classes?
For starters, we want you to focus on lower classes. Are you a teacher in higher class?
Oh, no, I'm in lower.
Yes, we want you to start in lower. Then once you have got confidence, it will spread to the other classes. So for starters, start it with lower class, then we can move on.
Up to grade?
4.
Up to grade 4, okay. Thank you.
Hello?
Right? Yes.
I'm asking.
Yes.
Hello?
We are listening.
I have followed. I have followed and I did not understand.
Yes.
How will you do it? How will you do it?
How will you do it is, for example, if I want multiple perspective and I'm teaching about sources of water, I will go to school with a picture of different things, a river, rain, tap, a donkey bringing water, so that I will, when I'm working with my learners, I will be presenting different sources of water so that I allow my learners to see multiple perspective. And when they are answering questions, I will not be looking for one answer, but I'll be asking open-ended questions so that my learners can give me different perspective. I've just given you a snapshot of how I will implement something.
Okay. Thank you.
So we are looking at your questions, and we are going to answer all these questions in WhatsApp because of time. But remember, for now we have a task. We have to prepare a 5-minute presentation because tomorrow you will do that. Yeah, somebody's saying, can I plan for 1 week and then 14 weeks? It's good to plan for all 14 weeks. What you do is have cycles. You can plan something for 3 weeks cycle so that when you try it, you observe, you learn, you reply, you review, you do it again and you do it again. So if you have 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, you can have 3 cycles, which will give you 12 weeks or 14 weeks very easily. So we are coming to the end of this session. And yes, we are going to give you a format. So this is the home task. Sorry for the spelling. You're supposed to do an action plan presentation tomorrow. So what we like you to now is to complete your action plan, complete your 5 minutes presentation. Remember, everybody will be given a chance to present, and all the links for the schools will be shared in WhatsApp. We can continue this communication in WhatsApp. Any questions you have, we can do it in WhatsApp. But I'd like to thank you for listening to me for 90 minutes. And now I'm ending my presentation, and I will invite the facilitators to say something as we come to a close. Abdi, please.
Thank you very much, Daktari. I think this has been a very engaging session where we have tried doing a mock of how we can work on creating our own action plans. As has already been mentioned, this will be shared to you, everything that you feel here, and that is why we wanted everyone to feel instead of filling on the chat, because with the chat, once we leave this page, we might not be able to access the chat. But with whatever we have done, the interactive presentation, you will get all the ideas together so that you can sit down and now work on your action plan. When you are working on your action plan, remember we will want each one of us per school, each person in the school will present. So what we shall do tomorrow is that we shall have 10 rooms for us. We shall have 10 facilitators. So we are not going to join one room. We will not just use one room for the whole session. We will have 10 rooms. We will divide the facilitators and the moderators into the various rooms. And we will only have 2 schools in a room where the 10 of you will be given 5 minutes each to do your presentation of what it is that you intend to do. That might not be the final bit of it, but it will be an indicator of what it is that you will be working on as we take this break and as we prepare for the schools to open. After we finish the first session, then we will have our grand session together where all of us will meet and do the final bit of the session. Thank you very much for the wonderful time that you have given us to work with you and together with our colleague facilitators. As we break now, I'll want us to leave with a reflection. And the reflection is similar to the reflections that we've had the day before yesterday. 3 things that I am taking away from the sessions today. 3 things that I am taking away from the sessions today. You can just share them here, but in our channel, we will have the reflection for the day.
So Abdi, they are doing that in the chat here. Abdi, are they doing that in the chat here?
We want, because of time, we will put it on our Google Classroom. It becomes easy for them now to fill in there.
And it will be a direct feed. Just answer to the question in the Google Classroom, which will be a direct feed, because we can see that lunch is served now, and you don't want to keep you. The food might be cold. So 3 things. Abdi, is it 3 things? I want to post it in the classroom direct. Abdi, can you repeat it again?
3 things I'm taking away from the sessions today.
I'm posting it in class.
3 things I'm taking away from the sessions today.
Okay, 3 things I'm taking away from the sessions today. It is live in class now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and for learning with us. I've learned a lot working with you. I look forward to listening to your ideas tomorrow, because I'm sure it will be very exciting listening to what you plan to do. I can see Wilter is saying action plan is doable. Thank you. So I can see people are posting how to plan. Please post them in the Google Classroom so that our colleagues can see, and we are going to come to an end. So I'll call somebody to give us a closing prayer. Bwana Francis Mwadhi, are you able